Hello YouTube and welcome back to Brewing with Magic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today I've got a fun 60 card deck for you. It looks like I'm lying because I'm pretty sure we're looking at an 80 card deck, and that's because we are. So this is a deck that if you're following the meta, I already know you've seen it. We're not going to go over this whole deck. I'm just leaving it up for a moment so you can just take a peek at it. But what I've done is I've turned this into not only a best of one deck, but a 60 card version. I have played the deck on best of one ladder as 80 cards, and it definitely works just as good this way, but it's fun to try new things, and I feel like the deck can go a lot faster and do kind of what the deck is trying to do anyways in a much more streamlined way. So I'm going to snap my fingers, and when I do, we're going to be at that other deck. Watch this. Boom. Here we go. Told you. Magic. So this is the list. There's a lot changed in it. The first thing you'll probably notice is there is no companion. That's because why run Yorion as a companion if you're not running 80 cards? Why? Because you can't. It literally won't happen. So what we did is we'll just put them in the deck. So the deck, let's go over it real quick. We've got 3 Omen of the Seas. We've got 2 Eliminates, 2 Heartless X, 1 Valky God of Lies, and or Tibalt Cosmic Imposter. The first side is perfectly fine if you draw it early game, because you really don't want to draw this card in any way. If you do draw it, you would prefer to draw it late game. The only way to even cast it is with this Triome over here. I'll get into that in just a minute, but so hopefully you don't draw it until you want to get it with your ultimatum. Then we have 2 copies of Maze Mind Tome just to help fix our draws, make sure we're getting land when we need them or not when we don't want them. It might be nice to maybe throw in 1 more Maze Mind and 1 less Omen of the Sea. I don't know. I've been playing around with the deck both ways. I can't really figure out which way I prefer. 2 Elspeth's Nightmares. This is in here for all kinds of reasons. 1, it kills creatures of power 2 or less. There's tons of that going around. 2, it lets us see our opponent's hand, whether they're a creature deck that might have an Embercleave that we want to rip out, whether they're a control deck where we just want to see their hand. That second part's amazing. If you're playing a Yorion deck or any other like hard counter control magic deck, you want to throw this even if there's no creature to kill, just to see their hand and see if it opens things up. And then lastly, exile target opponent's graveyard. Good against Rakdos decks, anything that's, you know, trying to bring things back from the graveyard a lot. Good for your cycling decks. 4 copies of Cultivate. 4 copies of Binding the Old Gods. This card is just absolutely amazing. That third ability, creatures you control gain death touch on the turn, could just be erased off the card. I don't think anybody's using it. If you do, that's awesome. But those first 2 are just so good that the card is just solid. 4 copies of Yorion. We have 2 Shark Typhoons. We have 1 Vorinclex Monstrous Rider. Just an absolute amazing creature. I'm sure you've seen it out there, but just in case, 2 green, 4 colors for 6/6 Trample Haster. And it's just really important in this deck. Everything else after that part, Trample and Haste is already good, but everything else is important because with the Emergent Ultimatum, it makes our opponents make really odd decisions. But what it does is, if you would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead. If an opponent would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, they put half as many of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead, rounded down. So that's just really solid. It shuts down their sagas completely, shuts down half of their Planeswalker coming out, all their Planeswalker trying to tick up. Just a solid card. 2 copies of Alrund's Epiphany, 2 blue, 5 colorless for a Time Walk. That also gives you 2 1/1 birds. Of course, it costs a little bit more than the original Time Walk, even though you get those birds, but that's just an amazing card. Who doesn't want to go twice? We have 1 copy of Kiora Best's The Sea God. We have 2 copies of Sea Kate Restoration, 4 Emergent Ultimatums, kind of the payoff of the deck. It's your win con in a lot of situations. That's what you're trying to get towards. So an amazing card. We have 2 islands, 2 swamps, 2 forests, 4 of the black-blue pathway, 4 of the green-black pathway, 4 of the blue-green pathway. We have 1 Cairn Triome, which is red, blue, green. We have 3 of the Triome that is blue, black, green. And we have 2 Fabled Passages to help us find these basics when we need them to get the right colors for our ultimatum or anything else we're trying to do. So the reason that, like I said earlier, we have the 1 copy with the red in it is because the Binding the Old Gods can go get any kind of forest. These say forest on them, and if I draw this Valky and we don't have a way to cast it with red, then we don't have a way to cast it. We're not going to put a basic a mountain in it. It's just to go get it with the Fabled Passage. So we just, the original deck has 4 of this Triome and 1 of this one. So I figured, why just make it a nice simple, take 1 of these out, leave that one in. I can still cast the Valky. Everything still works. So basically the whole deck revolves around you trying to keep them off balance until you can ultimatum The way that you do that, obviously, is low-end removal, such as Eliminate, Heartless Act, and Elspeth's Nightmare really helps you stay in the game early. And then Maze Mind Tome, when they're not putting too much pressure on you so that you can correct your draws or draw extra cards. You want to Cultivate on turn 3 every single time if possible. That is just an amazing thing to be able to do because it just gets you into that ultimatum that much sooner. Turn 4, hopefully, if they do anything, you're going to be binding the Old God. Not only is it an amazing removal, but once again, it's going to ramp your deck. Yorion in your hand is just absolute beast, especially if you have a Binding the Old God. You bind their best thing, then the next turn, you get to go look for one of your forests. Then you blink it again with Yorion. Now you have a 4/5 flyer in the air. You get rid of another one of their best cards on the board. Then you go get another forest. Running these two together is an absolute house, in my opinion. It just gets things done. So then, when you do get to Ultimatum, unless the board state calls for you to do something different, or you've drawn something that creates a situation where you can't really do it, the ones I like to grab the best are a Vorinclex, an Alrund's Epiphany, and a Valky God of Lies. Now, if you read the ultimatum, they have to be 3 monocolored cards with different names. Well, Valky God of Lies is a monocolored card. It just so happens that after you've picked it, you can choose to throw it on Tibalt Cosmic Imposter. Doesn't suck at all. It's really nice. And that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be throwing it on the Tibalt. So what, in my experience, happens almost every single time is they pick the Vorinclex for you to not get, and you end up with a Alrund's Epiphany and a Valky God of Lies. Okay, this is an amazing thing for you as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to throw the Alrund's Epiphany out, then the God on the Tibalt side, and you're going to plus it in most cases, but you don't have to. If there's something on the board you've got to deal with, you could minus it, then you get an extra turn. So that's awesome. And then you get to plus it or minus it again based on the board state and what you need to do. So it's just amazing. At that point, you probably draw on another card, hopefully an ultimatum. Now, if they let you do anything like throw down Vorinclex and the Tibalt, it comes out immediately with 10 counters. Depending on what the graveyards look like, you're going to just do that at -8 immediately. If they have something you just don't know how you're going to deal with, but you can get to it in a couple turns, like you can live for 2 more turns, get the Kiora, unless they give you once again the Vorinclex, then the Kiora bests the Sea God comes out and goes 1/2 immediately. So that's amazing. You'll get the 8/8, you'll lock down their whole board, and then the turn after that, you can take that thing that's been pretty much making it where you don't know how you're going to win this game. So that's the deck. Before we get into the gameplay real fast, if you'll just smash that subscribe button, it's completely free. It means a whole lot to us over here, and give the video a like. And we have Mazugu. Oh, we have some removal for early game, a Maze Mind. This is a little unfortunate in our hand this early on, but looks like a keeper. Okay. So this is blue, this is black, this is green. Okay. They are on mono black enchantments. So they're going to be fast. Another one. Ooh. Okay, so we'll throw this out on green. Pass the... part of me wants to get this Maze Mind Tome down. We're only taking 1-2 a turn at the moment. But we have another land coming up. So we really don't need it for 2 turns. We don't need a Maze Mind yet. Yeah, we'll pass. Kind of almost want to use this Valky too, see their hand, but we can try to prevent a 4-drop. Okay. I mean, swing them to both. We'll kill one. Take the other. Okay, there we go. You can only do one of these this turn, no matter what we do. And we can cast anything we need to with what we have on the board. So we throw the Triome. They couldn't throw anything this turn, so I feel like they have something in their hand. I don't know. I feel like this is the play. I want to see what they've got, and we whiffed. We literally whiffed. Wow. Okay. Swing and a miss. Next turn we can eliminate Maze Mind Tome. I'm assuming they're gonna throw the Calyx. I mean, I guess they could kill my creature. thinking the Calyx. There we go. Okay, yeah. Oh.
The selfish will be brought to order by my hand.
Okay, resolves. Oh, that is not what you want to see.
By Nyx.
Okay, take our turn. So we know they don't have any creatures in their hand unless, I mean, other than that, we got to get to this Calyx. So let's keep up with what we know we could have done to begin with. Just do the turn the best we can. We'll throw the Maze Mind Tome. Attack the Calyx. We do not want that ultimate going off. Return all enchantment cards from graveyards to the battlefield. I mean, enchantment, enchantment. And that's just right now. This could
you
get
are
bigger.
Reckless with your will.
So, I mean, this Binding the Old Gods is going to come out, take down the Maze Mind Tome, but they probably weren't going to waste the Binding on Valky anyways when they have this. We got to put something out there for him to kill. Try to get to this Kiora.
The patterned future appears before me.
Bindings it is. Yeah, why? I knew that. Why would you? That makes the most sense. We'll leave that on top. We'll destroy their binding with our binding. And swing for 2 more in on this Calyx. There we go. I think actually it's better to binding the Calyx. Let them get another land. I mean, what? They're gonna Banishing Light this anyways, so we're never getting the other land out of it. Eh. Let's go ahead and do that to that.
Fate has
Swing at them for 2. Now they'll definitely be Mire Grasping this, I'm sure. Let's throw this out as land. And we're done. We're not going to get to do that. I mean, what else do they have to do this turn? An Alseed comes out. They still... Well, that was their white. So they can't Banishing Light now? Okay, well, there's the... I knew that was going to happen. I'm surprised they didn't banish that. They're just like us, I guess, not afraid of some extra land. Well, our Valky's gone. So, and I think there's only the one in the deck. So we don't need this anymore. I mean, have all of our colors anyways, probably. Blue, blue, green, green. That could be black. So yeah, we'll just it doesn't matter. We'll grab that. And then put this out on black. Next turn we could cast this. They can banish the Kiora, but the 8/8 will exist and be hexproof. So I'd love to hit an ultimatum off the top. That would make me feel all kinds of excited. Okay, well that changes everything. No, it doesn't, because they have the Banishing Lights anyway. So let's get an 8/8 hexproof creature on the board that they can't banish. Okay, I don't have a game plan for that. Okay. Good game. And we have Gemini Snake. Okay. Like. Well, our hand is interesting. Opponent goes first. We can cultivate into some bigger stuff. I'm not sure about it, but how fun if we get there. So we need that on black. That's blue. That gets us into that. So let's throw this out on black. Next turn we'll have the eliminate. Then we could try to cultivate Wiffalo Haven. Okay, so throw that out, like I said, and we're a long ways away from this. Let's see what's in their hand. Let's take a creature. Oh, so trample, whatever this or no, it's 5, 6, 7, 6, 7. So they cost the same amount. That one will get bigger and bigger, and this one fights up to other creatures. So this one should be bigger than that one can fight. Plus now they don't get to mana ramp. So that's why I took that one. So by the time this comes out, I should have more than 6 land for them to fight. So there's their cultivate. We're going to do the same thing. We're racing to see who gets bigger faster. They probably have a lot more bigger stuff as we're relying on our ultimatum. So we do need to get to an ultimatum. Oh, that's not bad at all. That will do us fine. So let's throw this out on green, and let's throw our cultivate like we had planned. And we'll grab another, what, green and a black. We have blue with the Seagate, and then we have a binding also. Put out the black, not that it matters this turn, and attack. So our opponent is going to try to ramp, depending on what they have in their hand, or throw a creature and kill this before we get to enough land. Or I think, can they throw this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. They're going to beat us to that. I planned poorly. Because then they get the beanstalk back, and I mean, the whole thing. Dang it, they didn't do anything. I really, really, really wish we had something to bindings. We throw that out. We throw that into Foretell. We attack for 2. And that's the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I would have did this, that would have given us 6. Yeah, it wouldn't have helped. So, dang it. Okay, well. There, I'm sure they got their manners. Oh, what is this? Whenever one or more non-human creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Okay. Well, I want to hit it with one of these, but I need this Binding the Old Gods to pop off. So that if they don't hit a land again, I think next turn we can go ahead and, let's see, wait, cancel. We have green, green, black, blue, blue. So we need another blue. Attack with this, and then like next turn, that gives us enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus this. So if they didn't draw land next turn, we can transform the Valky into a beanstalk. Hopefully. Hopefully. Oh, maybe they didn't get their land. Face the saving. We will eliminate that. Oh, we didn't leave up the right mana. We could have too. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. Played that wrong. Okay. So there's that. We'll grab. Do we have another? I don't think we have another way to get the Valky out again. But we have all of our land anyway. So we'll grab this just in case. Because if we. I don't think we have a second one of these in our deck. Throw that out. We will thin the deck out. Grab another forest. And then one. Let's take another turn. Okay. Oh, hey, another turn in the future. Okay, let's Seagate Restoration. Draw a whole bunch of cards. Throw this out on black for a Heartless Act. And swing in with our 2 birdies. And we'll just hold back, like I said, because they're going to throw some monsters now. Some big, giant bombs. They're probably going to throw the Beanstalk on Fertile Footsteps if they didn't draw land, because that gets them their last land, so that next turn they can Thorn Mammoth. That's what I'd do. Or just throw the Beanstalk. Oh, wait, they still need this last land, right? Yeah. Okay. Opponent's thinking. They're probably thinking we're not too threatening yet, so they're going to Fertile Footsteps. Exactly. They don't think we're too threatening yet. So because what we're going to be doing very shortly, most likely, is taking another set of turns. Oh, they're drawing with the Visionary. We don't care about the Visionary at the moment, but I mean, we might as well eliminate it for end of turn since we can. because we're not going to be using Eliminate on these, that's for sure. So we'll eliminate it just to get it out of the way to use our mana. I don't know how much small stuff they have anyways. A Binding of the Old Gods is interesting, but not really necessary at the moment. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They got their 7th, so they're going to be throwing probably the Thorn Mammoth, but they could throw the Beanstalk. We could kill either one. Then they kill our little guys. We have the Binding, and the Binding we can do twice with the Yorion. So we're going to put this in a Foretell. We're going to Seagate. Oh, nice. We're going to swing in for 2. Throw the land out. Pass the turn. And so we have all the answers we need. We can double bindings them. And then Yorion double bindings them. I think we're pretty much in the driver's seat. Yeah, they're going to kill a birdie. Yep. Boom. And they throw... Well, they can't throw that this turn. So... Let's see. Let's just play it the smart way. Let's do it the smart way. I was going to see how much can I do. Well, binding's that. And we'll throw a Vorinclex. We'll swing in. Put them to 3. Throw the... throw the Triome out. Tap. Pass. I mean, they can't do anything. We've got this locked up. All of the cards in our deck are huge, and they're in our hand. Next turn we can flicker the binding with the Yorion. We could throw another binding first, and then flicker them both. We can take another turn. Yeah. The binding will trigger straight to the second time with that. That's kind of funny. Oh, a ram through. Okay. They make me a sad boy, but that's okay. So, I mean, let's throw the Shark's Typhoon. Throw that Shark Typhoon out there. Let's Heartless Act this little guy. Let's get another shark out there. There we go. Well, the Fabled Passage, I don't think... Oh, we have an island in the deck still? Let's crack that. Let's go get this island out of the deck. Good game, Gemini. Good game. Woof. Our hand was still just juice. Woof. We have Woo Daddy. Woo Daddy. Okay. Our opening hand is very large as far as casting cost goes, with not enough lands, and we have no way to fix our draws or look ahead in any way, such as Omen of the Sea Gods. So this is going to be a mulligan. Okay, mulligan that. Okay, that's not a bad pile. We'll keep that. And as much as I hate doing it, got to get rid of one of the cultivates. So one cultivate should do it, especially with the Binding of the Old Gods. We've got, what, blue represented here, green here, black here. There's nothing to do in this deck with green on turn 2. So I think we still might want to throw out, you know, this on black for sure. This on blue, turn 2. So we can Omen. That's only if we draw it. We don't draw it. Don't need it. There's another one of those. So we'll throw this out on black. And hope we don't get ramped too much. Woo, Daddy, slow down. Swamp. So they are on the black-green variety. Okay, well, that's not gonna... You're not gonna like the results there, my friend. We don't play very many creatures. I think, what, Yorion's the only creature that we play? I mean, we have ways to get creatures. I mean, we have our own Valkies. I take that back. You could have Valkyed a Valky. So we didn't get the Omen, so it doesn't matter what we play here. Let's throw the Force because they know about that Force. The less they know about, the better, in my opinion. We'll hold up the Eliminate to kill the Valky. I don't think they don't have anything that they're doing that scares me at the moment. I would throw the Eliminate now. If they were playing blue, if I had seen blue, that would scare me because then they could counter spell, things like that. That's what I mean. So. I'm good on my side, opponent. Ooh, daddy. Hitting us with the timer. We'll still pass the turn. We're still good with it. Would that have been horrible if we would have drawn a creature right that turn? Okay, so if they're running the same deck we are and they just haven't seen any of their blue yet, then they're not going to have a lot of big creatures. So I'm just going to use my ultimatum to use my mana effectively. Every turn, using all of your mana is always the best thing possible. You only get so much of it in a game. So hopefully that wasn't a mistake. I mean, they have this Gilded Goose out, so maybe. I don't know. Well, now that we drew that, we definitely want to ramp up. So we could put this out on blue, because that's all the colors now. And we have another green in our hand. So if we get a green and a blue, it doesn't really matter because we have a Binding of the Old God. So I'll get another green. I'll get another black. Just like I said, it doesn't matter. In fact, I'll get a black and a blue because our first binding, we almost always... Oh, hey, look. That's what we're grabbing. I'm going to say we almost always grab the Triome that has red in it so that we can throw our Valky if we draw it. So next turn we throw the island and we blow up anything big they do. Then we throw the forest and we ultimatum. They don't have a whole lot going on. If they made food, that is really good for... Ooh, my goodness. Okay, so let's keep with the plan. We'll throw this on green. We're going to binding. They don't want... Maybe they just don't want to throw anything knowing we have these bindings. So we'll bindings their goose. That's fine with me, just for the ramp. So next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll give me 6 and then 7. I can't ultimatum next turn because it'll come in and play tap, but whatever Woo Daddy throws next turn, we binding, and then we go into an ultimatum. I mean, that's a lot of aggression on our side. Hopefully they don't have too many answers for what we're doing, because then we're running out of gas after that. I don't know, after 2 ultimatums, if you don't win, right? Okay, throw the beast. The beast is what I'm going to take out with the binding. This triggers, like I said, we always get the one with red in it in case we naturally draw our god of lies, our Tybalt, I should say. So, and then we're going to go ahead and stick with the game plan, do this. Next turn, if we really wanted to, we could Yorion and blink this. But, I mean, I think this is going to get the job done, and we have a Yorion to blink whatever it comes out after that. Elder Gargaroth. Okay, maybe I'm going to change my game plan. Let's just whittle their... So we'll grab that. And then... Okay, so if I ultimatum right now, I'll probably get Outrun's Epiphany, I get our Tybalt, and I get our Vorinclex. Nobody lets you have the Vorinclex ever, so I would get Epiphany. Either way, I'd get a go again. Yeah, let's just throw the... I think we're good to throw the Emergent. So we get the Vorinclex, we get the Valky, and we get the Epiphany. We either get another turn to deal with this Elder Gargaroth, or we get a way to deal with our Elder Gargaroth immediately. So we get another turn. So it doesn't matter which way we throw these into play. So we'll play that, then we'll play that on Tybalt. So we're getting another turn after this anyways. So I might as well minus this. Oh, we've got this locked up. Sorry, opponent. Next turn. Yeah, there's so much we can do next turn. Once you've got this ultimatum off in this deck, and it just doesn't matter what they pick. It's all bad for them. We'll throw you out on green. We'll take our other turn. Those have Death Touch. Let's go ahead and exile the top card of each player's library. A Garut. So let's throw the... Watch, we throw the Garuk. Okay? We minus the group. We'll take a 3/3. We want our land out there. Always have land out. Then we'll throw the Yorion. And we'll blink this. Excuse me. And exile any number of... Oh, so I don't control that. Okay. Well, I didn't need to know if I controlled it or not because they didn't want to play anymore and we had it wrapped up anyways. Okay, and we are back for our post-game wrap-up. So, as you saw, when Emergent Ultimatum takes control of the game, the opponents usually don't stick around for it. You are almost never going to see this deck where you win the game through actually taking your opponent's life total all the way down. I don't care if you're on the ladder, I don't care if you're on the play, it just doesn't matter. They don't want to see it. You usually just take over the game at that point and it's over and they know it. The changes I would do to the deck, I don't know. I kind of like it where it's at right now. I mean, the only other thing you could really change besides putting it back to 80 cards is messing around with maybe some of your different removals based on what you thought, moving around omens for maze mines, taking eliminates and moving them to heartlesses or elspeth nightmares, depending on what you're seeing out there and what's causing you problems. Maybe you just take out the eliminates or just the heartless axe and instead you put in either Shadow's Verdict or you put in Extinction Event. There's a lot of different ways you could run it. I like it like this right now. It's running pretty smooth. It was a lot of fun. Down in the comments, let me know exactly what you did with the deck, how it did for you, what changes you made. Please do us a favor. It's completely free. It means a whole lot to us over here. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and then as always, till next time, have a blast in the arena.